This week on your Newsroom.
I'm Andy Cole. Having a hard time keeping up with your New Year's resolutions? We have some tips and tricks on how you can sustain your new year, new me, all year.
I'm Amara Lewis. As COVID still takes reign on our daily lives, we can't forget how it's affecting Eagle sports. We talked with the university's head athletic trainer to see what our teams are doing to stay in the game.
Sustain Southern is giving you the opportunity to cultivate your green thumb. We take you into the community garden and show some of the other sustainable practices they've completed all over campus.
Plus, we spoke exclusively with the famed Sugar Magnolias Cafe and Bakery about opening up their new tasty location right by campus.
If it matters to you, it matters to us, and it all starts right now.
This is your Newsroom with Andy Cole and Amara Lewis. Plus, your team of reporters in the field covering stories that matter to you. Now from the Georgian Media Group, this is your Newsroom.
Hey everyone, welcome to your Newsroom. I'm Andy Cole.
And I'm Amara Lewis. Happy 2022. Andy, did you make any New Year's resolutions?
I did. I actually wanted to tweet a little bit more, but it's been difficult to keep track of and really stay on my resolution.
Right. Well, luckily for you, Andy, and for you guys out there, your Newsroom's Elise Taylor gives us some tips on how to stay on top of your New Year's resolutions.
We all have New Year's resolutions that we set and plan to achieve, but sometimes those goals never get reached. Luckily, there are plenty of places on campus that can help you get to where you want to be. When making your plan, pick an attainable goal and outline small, specific steps that you can take to achieve it.
My New Year's resolution was to start working out, drink more water, and start saving my money better.
The number one New Year's resolution in the U.S. is to exercise more. If this happens to be your resolution, then you're in luck. You can go to the rack where they offer tons of equipment, classes, and more to fit all of your needs. If you want to stay on track with working out, try making a schedule for your exercises and start where you're comfortable, and then work your way up. To stay consistent, freshman Jessica Fernandez has a motto that keeps her motivated.
To remind myself every day of my goals, because goals are achieved through everyday work. You have to wake up and remember your goals.
Being a student is also important to take into account when planning your resolution. If your goal is to get better grades or focus more in school, the library is a great place to get ahead. The library offers tutoring services that can help you catch up if you start to fall behind. To stay on top of your work, try getting organized by writing down all of your assignments and due dates. Space out your work and dedicate specific times for getting it done. And don't forget to take a break in between. Freshman Gabriella Cruz has her own plan for working on her academics.
Definitely, I have to just work really hard, push myself, realize when I'm playing and not focusing, and fix that.
Regardless of your resolution, you can always find resources on campus to help you succeed. The best way to achieve your goal is to start small, set goals, stay consistent, and don't be too hard on yourself. Also, don't forget to celebrate your small successes. You got this, and you're doing great.
Elise, those are some great tips, but we've got to know, what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to work on my overall wellness. I just started yoga, so I'm extremely excited to focus on that and my overall mindfulness throughout the year.
That's a great one and a great story. Thank you so much. Elise Taylor reporting. The Omicron variant continues to surge throughout the country. Sports leagues and organizations are being forced to change the protocols that were being used before. Your Newsroom's Justin Helms files this report on the COVID cancellations.
This semester, our athletic department has had to cancel or postpone 2 at-home sporting events. The home swim and dive meet, which would have taken place last week, and the women's tennis match against Jacksonville State, staged for this past weekend, was pushed back to March. With the rules in place, there are many boxes each team must check in order for an event to run as scheduled.
When you're looking at events, you're looking at the positivity rate amongst the team itself. Also, then you factor in the amount of injuries that the sport already has, that they're already out. How many people do you have? Can you compete? Can you compete safely for the student athletes too, right?
The swim and dive meet has been the only event canceled due to a safe number of student athletes not being able to compete. It takes coaches, administrators, and health professionals combined to make a decision to cancel an event. Protocols and guidelines are given to the athletic department from the NCAA, and Sunbelt. This includes when and how often players and coaches are tested.
So everyone has to be tested every 7 days and 72 hours before the first competition of that week if you're unvaccinated or not up to date. They only get tested once a week now. Last year it was a lot more. Any indoor sport was getting tested 3 times a week, and then baseball and softball also.
Under the new CDC guidelines, players vaccinated and unvaccinated who test positive must quarantine for at least 5 days. After the 5-day period, players proceed differently depending on their symptoms and level of severity.
When they come out, they see a doctor to go over their symptoms, how they're feeling. They get an examination. If it's moderate symptoms, same thing, they see a doctor. However, they have to get an EKG, they have to get blood work done. As long as the EKG and the blood work come back fine, then they can proceed to their return to play process.
We reached out to the other coaches and athletic director Jared Binko to be included in our story. The athletic department declined to let anyone but Klaus comment.
So amongst all the new rules and protocols, are there any new guidelines for fans attending events?
Thanks, Amara. And no, there is not. Georgia Southern told me that they currently rely on their fans to use their best judgment when attending athletic contests.
Thanks for that useful information, Justin. To further find out how you can stay safe, check the CDC website. In the last 8 years, Sustain Southern has allocated over $1 million in grant funding to campus sustainability improvements. Your Newsroom's Ashley Watts takes us inside the community garden and shows the new wave of green parts of our campus.
When you walk past the campus community garden on your way to class, you've probably never thought about who keeps it up and running. The answer might be surprising. You do. Through student fees, Sustain Southern has not only maintained our campus garden, but also supported many sustainability advances on campus.
Each student pays $10 every semester, and that goes to funding this project.
Through their Soho and Grow program, Sustain Southern provides students with the opportunity to cultivate their green thumbs. Students can grow healthy food, eat healthy food, and learn about the importance of sustainability.
When you reserve a plot, it means you have an open bed where you're allowed to plant whatever you want. You have access to all the stuff inside the greenhouse. You have all of our seeds. You have expertise.
Sustain Southern even has their own grant program that has allocated over $1 million towards campus sustainability improvements since 2014.
It feels really good to know that the money that we pay goes to positive things, and I would be definitely interested in a plot here.
That's great to see, and just in time for spring. How can other students get involved and plant their own seed?
For those interested in their own plot, you can fill out the interest form linked on Sustain Southern's webpage at georgiasouthern.edu/sustainability.
Ashley Watts, thanks for that report. On Sundays, me and my friends, we brunch, but we're always looking for the next big spot. Sugar Magnolias already has one location, but they're going to open a newer one, even closer to campus. Your Newsroom's Asa Baurle serves up this story on the famed bistro and the timeline for opening their new location.
When Caroline Joyner purchased Sugar Magnolias in 2018, her goal was to revive a staple of downtown Statesboro. Just 4 short years later, she's doing that and more. A new location, closer to campus, is scheduled to open in the coming weeks.
We will have coffees, breakfast food, lighter lunch fare, and then we'll focus more on baked goods, desserts, milkshakes, smoothies, all the fun stuff.
Joyner hopes that the new location in the Main Street Plaza will bring a new crowd to both the bistro and the bakery.
Give it more visibility because it's closer to the college. Not a lot of college students come downtown.
While there are some changes that come with opening a new location, one thing will remain the same: locally sourced food.
We work with about 9 local farmers. All of our produce is from Metter, Georgia. We have eggs that come in from Bullitt County, lamb and other meats that come in from Bullitt County.
While the food may be local, their menu draws inspiration from all corners of the globe, offering unique dishes not commonly seen in the area.
I think it's fun to make people try things that they've never had before. I think we're really blessed in this restaurant to be able to offer things that a lot of people in this community have never ever tried, and hopefully we can do that at the new coffee house as well.
To server Bobby Barkley, Sugar Mags is an easy choice when it comes to dining in Statesboro.
We got the best service, we have the most unique food in town, and we have the freshest food in town because it comes from 5 minutes down the road.
So Asa, when will the new location be opening?
Sugar Magnolia's new location is scheduled to open up right here in Main Street Village within the coming weeks. Until then, you can check out their original spot downtown.
Sugar Magnolia serves brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Thanks, Asa. And thank you for joining us this week. We encourage you to connect with us on social media at @your_newsroom.
For now, for Mara and for all of us at your newsroom, I'm Andy Cole. We'll see you next week.